How would you like to spend your morning? You could spend your morning like this. Or you could spend it like this.
Tune in to the Morning Ride every weekday morning from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. right here on Today FM, Today's Hit Music.
Isambolo binaka. Nadhango wadi sori ndalai. Nama kio mani wasini ngono borota kina lali ne kabi. Maina tolu kina bitu. Ena moni tingina por rombuka. Ena mbula FM. Na bandu ena serre.
On FBC News tonight, electronic voter registration to recommence next month. Plans to export live animals to Pacific neighbours. And Labour Ministry says there's a drop in the rate of unemployment. Good evening, I'm Amrita Priyadarshini and you're with FBC News. Police are investigating the death of a man found unconscious outside the Warwick Resort in Singatoka last night. Officer in charge of the Singatoka police station, ASP Henry Steele, told FBC News the man was taken to hospital around midnight but was pronounced dead on arrival. FBC News understands the man was involved in a fight. ASP Steele could not confirm this, only saying his officers are trying to ascertain what really happened. Electronic voter registration will commence again from next month. Areas targeted are Netasiri, Rewa, Ba and Madhuwata. As according to Attorney General and Elections Minister Aya Sayed Qayyum, these areas recorded a lower proportion of registrations than other parts of the country after the first and second rounds last year. Teams from the Elections Office will visit the various areas over a 4-week period. Sayed Qayyum is urging all Fijians over the age of 18 who live in the targeted areas and have not yet registered to do so.
The registration clerks will go around, will be advertised within the next week and a half or so, before the beginning of June. But we are starting an advertisement campaign from Monday or so to get people into the mode of thinking that they need to get registered if they have not been registered. Of course, this will also be a period where people who live in those areas, go to the registration clerks just to check the details, if their current details are correct or not.
Prime Minister Vorenga Bainimarama will travel to France tomorrow to receive the second of the new Fiji Airways Airbus A330s. A government statement says the plane, which has been named Namukailau, will be formally handed over at a ceremony at the Airbus factory in Toulouse later in the week. The new aircraft will make its delivery flight to Fiji via Los Angeles to enable the airline to hold a promotional event for the U.S. tourism industry. It is expected the aircraft will arrive at the Nandi International Airport on the 23rd of this month. There are plans to export live animals to our Pacific neighbours in a bid to help their livestock industry. The Agriculture Ministry says some island nations have already registered their interest. Eleanor Turangaivu has more.
48 live cattle were recently shipped to Rotuma to replenish the cattle industry there. The shipment was funded by the Prime Minister's office. The agriculture sector in Rotuma is actually growing. They're very much dependent on what they produce there locally. They, like us, also have a demand for meat. And because they don't really have a lot of livestock demand to provide them with to satisfy their need for livestock products, they had requested if they can be buying live animal and then they can breed their own. The success of the shipment has given the Agriculture Ministry confidence in live animal trade in the region, with interest already registered from our neighbours. This is just in line with the plans that we might be exporting to other South Pacific Islands, because there is potential for live animal export to other Pacific Islands, especially Papua New Guinea salmons. They have a lot of interest in our cattle in our sheep. The ministry is now working at training its officers who will be involved in this initiative. We are trying to train our officers to have skills in transporting of live animal through
through high seas, which is something that we've never done before.
This is not the first time live animal from Fiji has been shipped to other island nations. Fiji used to export a ship to Samoa and Tonga. Elana Turangaiviu, FBC News.
The Labour Ministry believes the rate of unemployment in Fiji has dropped significantly. It says more and more people are entering the job sector, which is a positive sign for the country. Sharin Lata reports.
Labour Minister Joni Usamate confirms that our latest survey has shown optimistic results in the employment sector.
Over the past few weeks, I've noticed in the papers there are a lot more advertisements for jobs, so there are jobs that are coming up. Probably not at the rate that we want, but we believe that once the constitution is in place, once we have elections, all of this will begin to change.
Not having a white-collar job does not mean that you are unemployed. Self-employment is equally beneficial, something the ministry has been trying to educate the public on for years. This effort has finally proved to be a success, as the ministry has found that more people are now getting to know the importance of subsistence farming, and they are making full use of their local resources.
We have countries like Spain and Greece where the youth unemployment is almost up to 50%. In Fiji, we don't have it so bad. One of the advantages that we have in Fiji, if you look across the harbour, you can see there are green fields there. People can always revert to subsistence. And one of the surveys that has come out of the Bureau of State shows that a lot more people are going into this.
The Labour Ministry is currently having discussions with companies in Papua New Guinea for locals to be employed there. Meanwhile, the applications for the United Arab Job Opportunities have been processed, and some locals have already started with their new jobs. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, concerns of neglect on Mother's Day.
नमस्ते दोस्तों, मिर्ची रफ्तार से मैं अश्निल सिंह। शामिल हो जाइए हमारे साथ मंडे टू फ्राइडे फ्रॉम 3 to 7 p.m.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners. Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today is hit music. What's up?
Welcome once again to FBC News. Now, the Home of Compassion in Tamavua outside Suva has expressed concern at the lack of interest from relatives whose loved ones are in their care. Sister Veronica Paul, who is one of the caretakers at the home, believes many children have become so wrapped up in their own lives that they've forgotten about their elders. Vusita Kote Waswasa reports.
The Home of Compassion believes that respect and value for the elderly is fast deteriorating in today's society. Those in this home were brought here by their loved ones who could not look after them. A main concern at the home is the lack of visitation from family members.
There are some that come to visit, but the others, as the lady that mentioned, that she has family members here, but her children, but they don't really frequent, they don't come.
The home celebrated Mother's Day today, and Sister Paul has this message for families whose loved ones are under their care.
Children, grandchildren and great-grandchildren, please take care. Think of your parent who's here. They need you. They need your love. Even if you can't come, ring or send a message of some kind. Not only on Mother's Day, but every other day. You know, their birthdays and special occasions, because they need you.
FBC News also spoke to a few women.
They are busy, somebody died and somebody's family's family didn't there. Just like my sister, her daughter, everybody went to overseas now these days.
There are currently 15 women at the home, and Sister Paul says there are plans to renovate and build 2 more wings to accommodate more elders. Vosita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
Meanwhile, a group of women at the Suvavo circuit believe today is a day that women should become vocal on issues they face every day. Vosita Kote Wasawasa again with this report.
Miriama Nativau says the sermon they heard today is about being able to speak up on behalf of the poor and the disadvantaged. This, she says, is a challenge to women today as the church plays a pivotal role to empower them to speak up.
We have to be educated well on our beliefs so that we can be fearless in speaking the truth.
Nativau says times have changed and Itaukei women need to get away from the barrier that prevent them from standing up for themselves and what they believe in.
There should be no more fear. You know, we always look at ourselves as women. I believe that God has more in store for us to work towards.
Nativau adds that the church is now playing a proactive role in trying to empower women to stand up for what is right in society. Vosita Kote Wasawasa, FBC News.
The Daunivonu or Turtle Monitors Network, first trialled by WWF South Pacific in the provinces of Maduata and Bua, has now expanded to Lomaiviti. Daunivonus are responsible for keeping a lookout for turtles in their area, at the same time creating awareness on the endangered creature, some of which are endemic to Fiji. Roland Koroi reports.
It's no secret that sea turtles are endangered. In the Pacific, they're widely sought after for their tasty meat and their backs for jewelry. In 2010, WWF South Pacific initiated its Daunivonu program in Maduata and Mbua. And just this week, the program has been extended to Lomaiviti.
People from the community members who were at one stage turtle hunters, who are now protectors of turtles, so to speak. So WWF is really excited that now we've got 8 additional DNV on board.
Patricia Mallam says the Daunivonus or turtle monitors have greatly impacted their efforts to save and conserve turtles in Fiji.
You know, they're sharing information amongst themselves and inspiring others to do the same. And although it hasn't brought a complete halt to harvesting turtles, and, you know, we still know that there's some illegal harvesting going on, however, the situation has greatly improved.
And since 2010, there's been marked improvement to the way people deal with turtles.
There were instances when people would just, you know, for weddings, funerals, they would just go out and harvest turtles. But now they're being very mindful and cautious because they, you know, they've learned and they understand the impact those actions have on turtle populations.
By law, a permit is needed for the capture of turtles in Fiji, and anyone caught illegally harvesting or selling turtles can face hefty fines or even time in prison. Roland Koroi, FBC News.
In sports news ahead, Fiji's Roy Krishna saves the day for Waitakere United.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है, 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5 हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली रेनू। सुनते रहिए मिर्ची एफएम, मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।
Nimbula, medango nimilote na isaro tambua. Nama kia umina rua kina ona na via kavi moniti kina wakarambuka. Rongo mena via sana kina viva ka barota kini ndreko malolo. Ena Radio Fiji 1 na wongani pia niano. Ngai nama kia kina.
Leading FBC Sports tonight, Fijian footballer Roy Krishna was once again instrumental for Waitakere United after scoring the winning goal to beat Amikal 2-1 in the second leg semi-final of the OFC Champions League in Auckland, New Zealand today. Earlier levelled at 1-1, Krishna coolly sealed the deal in the 89th minute to book Waitakere's spot in the final to face Auckland City on Sunday week. Rather than talk about the goals, we'll show you how it all happened.
Masavakale with a free kick, hits the wall. No, oh, it's in! Amakel have scored! Joses Nawo with a fantastic goal. Look at this, from long range. Thumped into the bar, hit the goalkeeper, into the back of the net. Amakel lead 1-0. Here's a chance for Coombs. Oh, wonderful goal by Chad Coombs. Flag stays down. Christian is unmarked. He can seal it here for Waitakere. Waitakere United 2-1 up. And on their way to the OFC Champions League final next week. On an entertaining afternoon at Fred Taylor Park. Look at the ball in from Dan Morgan. Christian takes a touch, draws Mansale, and then just calmly puts it in the back of the net.
I was disappointed, the staff were disappointed that we didn't get up for the game as well as what we should have done in the first half, and so we didn't play our best, but we did a lot better in the second half, created a lot more opportunities, and we were comfortable in the second half. But first half, and then we had the goal, which was a bit unlucky really off the back of the goalkeeper, but that's what happens in these games, particularly against the island teams. The unexpected happens, and you've got to be ready for it.
A new sponsor means a new name for the Suva football team, preparing for the Vodafone Fiji Fact. At a fundraising drive in Vatuanga today, the Whites are doing all they can to prepare themselves for their title defence. Formerly known as the Malt House, Fusion Bar is fast becoming the spot for Suva Football Club supporters. And today, they witnessed a $5,000 cheque handover from their latest sponsor, All Freights Logistics.
For last 2 years, I think Suva has been doing very well, and we also a developing company in Suva. It's only 3 years old, and we have come forward to help Suva Soccer as well. Not only Suva Soccer, but like I said earlier, we also have been involved actively in Fiji weightlifting and also sponsored some other club level soccer as well.
The Suva officials are pleased with their latest signing.
I think this time when Suva Soccer is in financially difficult, I think this is the boost for Fiji Fact preparation. As before, as you know, Gurjit Singh always says, a better prepared team wins always Fiji Fact.
All Freights Logistics Suva is pooled with Lambasa, Nadronga and Ba for the Vodafone Fiji Fact, while Nandi, Navua, Lautoka and Rewa make up Pool 2. The Cup quarter-finals of the London Sevens is Fiji's next hurdle in trying to finish the IRB World Series on a high this season. They take on Kenya at 10 minutes to 9 tonight in what is expected to be a physical encounter. Like Fiji, Kenya came off with 2 wins and a loss in pool play. In other Cup quarter-final matches tonight, New Zealand takes on Argentina, Australia meets USA, then England is up against South Africa. The losers from the Cup quarters will automatically drop into the plate semi-finals. The Cup semis will kick off at 2:22 a.m. tomorrow, and the Cup final is scheduled for 5:14 a.m. on Monday. Despite suffering their first loss this season, Suva remains on top of the Digicel Cup rugby points table. The lead, however, is not a comfortable one, and as Elena McDonald reports, losing to Lautoka yesterday served as a wake-up call for the capital side.
Leading the pack throughout the match, Suva never saw this winning maroon strike coming.
Over the top.
Disappointed with the end result, all blame for the capital side's first loss was put down to complacency.
Maybe that we are leading the points, we were sitting comfortably there, that the boys thought of that. But overall, what I saw that Lautoka was, they wanted to win, they just kept me very fit.
Currently 7th on the overall points table, the win for Lautoka is their second this season, but a definite boost for upcoming matches.
It was hard because we didn't play for 2 weeks. Other teams have been playing, but we've been working hard in those 2 weeks break. So when they asked me last week, I told them we've got no excuse to play against Suva. We will play our heart out.
For Suva this week, it's back to the drawing board for a tougher matchup lined up in the next round.
Yes, we look at everything against Nandroan. We look at everything against Nandroan.
Recapping yesterday's results, Naitasiri were the big winners, so too were Nandronga, while Vatukola's win is keeping them in the top 8. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
The 13th Fiji Games came to an end today, with Suva dominating the 3-day event. The overall unofficial medal tally put the capital up with 58 gold, compared to second-place finishers Levuka, which collected 20 gold, and Nandi in third place with 13 gold. The FBC Sports team took to all sporting arenas for this short wrap-up. Mr. Fiji's bodybuilder Voniriti Randua had to be one of the Fiji Games highlights. At 59 years old, the veteran outclassed his younger competitors to win gold. Outrigger Canoeing tested its Fiji minigame squads at the USP Marina yesterday, raking in more medals for the capital. Levuka put up a fight in hockey at the National Hockey Centre, but again it was Suva who reigned supreme today. Beach volleyball raked in medals for Vunindawa through Gilu Elliott and Epeli Ratambadada Nosori. Lotoka and Lambasa claimed medals in the women's division. Taking a look at weather, and rain continued throughout the country today, with all major centres getting their share of rainfall. Savu and Suva were the coolest today, recording 28 degrees at 4 this afternoon. Nadi was the hottest with 30 degrees. The outlook for tomorrow is for more rain. And for the further outlook, rain should continue but begin easing as we enter midweek. That's your news for tonight, but before we go, these are the headlines. Electronic voter registration to recommence next month. Police investigate death of a man found unconscious outside the Warwick Resort. And plans to export live animals to Pacific neighbours. To the poll question now, and we ask, do we need more e-ticketing service providers? To take part in our weekly poll, visit www.fbc.com.fj. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. Until next time, good night.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also, later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners. Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today is hit music. What's up?
Nisambulo binaka oya wone kamanalangi oni nandorungu viao mai na diwa kina rua na bisinga mai na moniti kina bagarumbuka na Radio Fiji wana ndoma ibiti bongani bionyanu nama katalengana benga ona sasi biani na tinna kaloko na bembongi ni bukilulu kena bima mani walu na bembongi ni bakarowai mai na mbuza ni balu ninge namaka.